Not much more than that, other than it's still kind of ongoing, fact finding, all that kind of information gathering, things of that nature. But quite honestly, until we hear something, it's day to day for him.
So you can still practice.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So he is here, and he will
Yes.
practice limited today?
Limited. Yep. Try to get him back up to speed football wise. He's missed a few days, a few weeks, obviously, and just see where he's at.
Jamal Agnew, do you have an update on him? How long he could possibly be out?
Yeah, Jamal's a little more significant. Going to miss this week, and could potentially miss a couple of weeks here. So the shoulder area obviously is the issue.
Was that the reason why you activated Parker, or not activated, but started his practice window?
Part of it, yeah, and Parker's ready, so we wanted to get that 21-day window going and get him back in the mix.
Is there a chance Parker could be ready as early as Sunday?
There's a chance, yes.
After some of the kind of flat performances at home, do you think about shaking up your schedule, getting ready for home games at all, or stick with it?
Play Tennessee in Tennessee or stay here?
Play them all on the road.
Well, you play both still.
Play 2 in Tennessee?
No.
No, I don't. One of the things I've learned over my career and as a player and a coach is you don't change a lot. You just stick to your process, and I think the guys have to understand that you just continue to do the things that you do to prepare, and we just got to learn from our mistakes and move on.
Tyson, still just day to day?
He's going to be day to day. You won't see him out there today. He'll probably be on the side of the field getting some conditioning and testing his his hamstring. So probably not going to be out there much today.
You said on Monday that you want players to really be critical of themselves. Did you get the feeling from after meeting with everybody that they really bought into that?
I did. Even today, seeing the guys today, they're obviously disappointed. They're dejected. Not our best performance, obviously, and they want to right the ship. And you're only as good as your last game. You put that on tape. All our opponents moving forward are going to watch that film, and it's not good. So I do think the guys really embraced it, and it means something to them, which is good, and should bounce back.
What have you thought about Will Levis and his limited action so far this season?
I obviously he started out extremely hot, that first game, and I think things have kind of settled in, for him. And he does a great job of the intermediate stuff. I know they're a little banged up front, so it does affect you a little bit. But he can move around. He's tough. He's got a really good arm. He can throw it from all different angles. So if you're going to knock a pass down at hand up, it may go into your arm, type thing. He's that talented. So, young player. Obviously, he's working through some things, but he has done a nice job, in the limited number of starts.
Did you sense at all this morning when you met with them that maybe these guys were stunned by the last 48 hours, just the performance, and then what happened with Zay? Is there any of that in the building?
No. I mean, they're obviously reeling probably from Sunday, and it still lingers a little bit. It's disappointing, but the two are separate.
The 3 safety look that you guys, I know last year, a lot of success against the Ravens, I think against the Titans a little bit too. How would you evaluate it against the 49ers versus now knowing you have to go against Derrick Henry this weekend?
It's good for us, obviously. There's still some communication things with having 3 guys out there. They got to talk a little bit better. There were some mistakes made Sunday that affected some explosive plays for San Francisco. So this is a week to be able to clean that stuff up and kind of get on the same page. But having the 3 out there, Dewey's good in and around the box. If he's pressuring, he can. He's been able to get guys on the ground and or be in the post and in passing situations. So it's a good combination of the 3. And obviously we're going to have to use that probably more moving forward.
Any thoughts of making a move at left guard, switching, moving Ezra in?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. No.
Still looking at Walker's making
Exactly. Again, Walker hasn't had much time there, so We got a lot of confidence in Walker. He'll bounce back. He'll respond. We do want to get Ezra, though, some snaps, and see where he's at mentally with the offense.
What do you see from the offensive line right now that is struggling?
I just think they haven't played together for a length of time. I think there's a lot of moving pieces there. Anton continues to improve each week. I said the other day I thought he had one of his better performances. Against a really good front. Luke and Brandon are kind of the staples there. Cam is Cam. And then that left guard spot has been a little bit of a revolving door right now. So there's some uneasiness there, but I think these guys, the more they play together, the more comfortable and confident they'll be in these next 8 games.
Doug, the last Sunday notwithstanding, you expect to see an edge from your team with 2 games against the division and a chance to all but grab the division in the next few weeks? Expect to see some of that, or?
Yeah, I expect it from our guys, to have that type of edge. It just, Tennessee's a good football team, and they're going to remember last year, obviously, and our guys need to remember too. So, I expect that, regardless of where we play, but more importantly here at home.
I think Trevor's been sacked 24 times, 27 all of last year. Are you seeing some of that stuff kind of getting in his head a little bit, or maybe not in his head? Do you see the rush impacting him more this year, and particularly last week? Is he trying to get rid of the ball too quick, or bailing on some stuff too quick? No.
We're seeing some fake pressures that
What?
weren't there. Like seeing a few. It looked like one looked like a couple times he maybe pulled it away and started to move before there was actual people in his face.
Oh,
Couple times.
okay. So you're saying he's seeing ghosts?
No,
All right.
I didn't say that.
Listen, one of the things as we get better as a football team, and the more wins that we can sort of pile up, you're going to play better opponents, right? That's just the nature of the league, and we're seeing that. We're seeing better defenses. We're seeing better fronts. Got another one this week, really good front, and they can get after a passer. Trevor's got to understand that, number one. Whether that means get through his progressions a little bit faster. We have to do a better job up front. Our backs are involved with protection, tight ends. So it's a collective effort. I do think sometimes when you get hit, the number of times as a quarterback you get hit, it can affect your eyes, and your eyes can drop and focus on the rush to touch. But it's the one thing about Trevor that he's really good at continuing to keep his eyes down the field. And, we got to continue to coach him and help him and make sure he feels as comfortable as possible.
Doug, you talked about before on Monday, you want to see players, coaches doing the extra things. What can you do to sort of get you over the top? What have you as a coach started to sort of maybe do, or did you change anything about what your process is like going into this week?
I think a lot about how I can message the team, the messaging and being consistent there, and things I could show the team, whether it be through videos or our own performances. Obviously, my study and film study is going to be the same, each week and all of that. But, it's geared more towards the players and the things that I can help them with, right? And how do we get off to fast starts? How do we, play better at home? How do we not turn the ball over? Those are the things that, I try to work on and continue to, talk to the guys about and make it a little more of a priority, I guess, now that we're into the back, 2 months of the season.
There's always this perception that division games have more physicality to them. Has that been your experience in your brief time here, and was it your experience also when you were in Philly?
I think in Philly it definitely was. That division. I think this division is the same way. Every game's physical, but there's a little more probably heightened awareness, when you're playing a division opponent, and especially in our division because it's sort of, run heavy, let's say, with the running backs that are in our division. So there's a level of physicality there, but division games, again, if you want to be one of the teams at the end of the year, these are the games you've got to play good in. You got to play better in, and you know, because that gives you an opportunity to be in the postseason. So, I think that's probably what people feel the most, and what players feel the most is that importance, you know, of playing a division game.
Is there a way to create more explosives on the offense?
Sure.
How do you do it?
You can do it through, you know, one of the things we haven't been able to do because of Trevor's condition, obviously with the knee and everything, is just move him a little bit more. Sometimes you can create some off of that, you know, and he's been limited that way. Play action pass can be, you know, an opportunity to shoot the ball down the field on first or second down. The screen game, you've seen the screen game, you know, kind of hit a little bit. You know, those are ways to create some explosives. And then sometimes just drop back and throw it, right? Just run past, you know, use your speed on the perimeter, you know, and try to take advantage of that way. You're seeing teams, you know, do it in different ways. But yeah, you got to be careful, especially against good rushers. Who you're going to ask to block who? You know, are tight ends going to block D ends? Are you going to put two tight ends on a D end? Are you going to add a back, a receiver? I mean, there's a combination of guys that, you know, I guess schematically you look at, but sure, there's ways of, you know, scheming those things, you know, open down the field.
Building off of that, you guys are ranked last in depth of routes run, like the only team that's like less than 10 yards per route. I'm curious what you would attribute that to.
Honestly, we probably should just, you know, be more conscious of taking more shots, quite frankly. You know, and again, you know, you get in a situation too when you're going against a good pass rush. Sometimes it doesn't give you the opportunity because you got to hold the ball a touch longer, you know, and you know, it kind of goes back to the protection questions. You know, it hasn't been the greatest, you know, and so Trevor's had to get off. And we've had opportunities to push the ball down the field. It's just, you know, one breakdown here, one breakdown there, and then he's moving, and next thing it's, you know, it's a completion for 3 or 4, or it's a scramble for 4. So, you know, it's a combination of a lot of things.
How do you emphasize protecting the ball this week? I mean, is that a different message that you give them, or?
You emphasize it, honestly. I mean, you know, we talk about it every week with the team, offensively. And even defensively, we talk about creating the takeaways, right? That's what has allowed us to get to 6 wins, you know, and we've been successful doing that. And we got to continue to, you know, I got to continue to talk to the team about those things and the importance of that. And you know, we ask the look team on defense to you know, try to punch, try to strip the ball out, try to do whatever they can to, you know, affect a running back or a receiver. And same thing defensively, do the same thing. So it's having conversation, but then again, carrying it over to practice and making that a point of emphasis each day.
Okay, 1 or 2 more.
Doug, how much does Trevor get himself a bit in trouble trying to do too much on a broken down play?
A touch. I mean, you know, he's trying to make a play, you know, and can't fault him necessarily for that. He's trying to stay positive and you know, come away with something. But it's okay to throw it away. It's okay to punt. It's okay to, you know, be 2nd and 10 or something like that on a first down play. But you know, I don't fault him for trying to make those plays, for trying to extend them. You know, just don't put the ball in harm's way.
You mentioned Trevor's knee. How much has that impacted what you wanted to do on offense since it happened? Now it's been a few games.
Well, the early, the first couple of games, obviously very sore, wearing that brace, a little cumbersome, all that. It affects mobility, you know. Straight line, linear speed, all that's fine, but the stopping and starting and all that kind of affects it. But as we continue to go, he gets healthier, you know, and feels better. And you know, those are things that we need to. That's his strength of his, right? Is being able to throw on the run. So the more he feels comfortable and strong, I think the more we can implement those in our game plans.